Stripper question. What should your clients know? I almost ended up in deep trouble in Ankara, Turkey, a few years ago. I went to see a burlesque show. There were 6 naked girls on stage with tassels covering their nipples. After the performance, they joined the men sitting at the tables. One of the girls realized I was American, and her face suddenly looked very concerned. She took me aside and said that their establishment was different from similar clubs in America. They had a per minute charge. She said that they had a lot of Americans who were presented with huge bills that they couldn't pay, and as a result, the bouncers would beat them up very badly. I left immediately, and I was actually billed by the time. It took them a full 5 minutes to figure out how much I owed them. I was forced to pay them $100 for the 25 minutes I spent there drinking nothing but beer. She was so great for helping you avoid trouble. There's a show on Netflix about a guy who investigates scams around the world. One episode was about a strip club in Europe where they charged $450 a glass. The scam starts with the taxi driver. Don't ask taxi drivers to take you to a strip club. They get their cut for bringing in unsuspecting tourists. Later, a huge bouncer will force you to go to the ATM, and if you refuse, he will beat you up. Edited. The show is called Scam City. I worked in a strip club, but not as a stripper, and our girls would cut the threads of their tampons so they wouldn't be visible to all the patrons. Sometimes the tampons would get stuck, and the girls would have to find sober women to help them remove them. It was very funny to watch. The girls had certain codes. If a customer bought them a drink and the girl asked for vodka with lemonade, it meant she needed to be served plain water, and the money for the vodka would be given to her later. Given that alcoholic beverages cost, that's exactly what he paid for the drink. But we would later pass that money on to the guests, who were actually drinking plain water with lemonade. A win-win situation, no matter how you look at it. Extra income for the strippers, they don't get drunk, they can safely work the shift to their full potential. It's not as dangerous for them to drive home. But if a stripper is sober, she'll have to pull tampons out from under her arms, so it's not that great. I have some acquaintances and friends who work as strippers. They told me that sometimes, after a particularly nasty client, they rub their whole body with disinfectant. Be sure to warn them that you only want one dance. That way they will ask you after they finish if you want another dance. And if you don't warn them, they'll just dance and dance until your money runs out. That happened to me. For my birthday, I went to a strip club for the first time in my life. My friends ordered me 2 dances in the VIP room. I didn't know about it. Even after 3 songs, my friends didn't come to get me. In the end, I was broke. But other than that, it was great. The same thing happened to me at a bachelor party, only there were 5 dances. And before they even started, 10 of my friends asked the stripper to take good care of me. I had a lot of fun, but I left $500 at the club. My friend was crazy about one cute dancer and spent his entire small inheritance on private dances and drinks for her. He kept asking her out, but she kept refusing, saying, "We're not allowed to date customers." He kept asking her. She must have felt sorry for him. One evening, she took him to the VIP room and told him to sit down. She stood in front of him almost naked and said to him, "Look at me. I'm so beautiful that I can make a good living just taking my clothes off. Do you really think I don't have a boyfriend?" He was heartbroken. My brother was always falling in love with strippers, so much so that it was inappropriate. I tried to reason with him, but to no avail. He spent 15 years like that and finally hooked up with one. I'd never heard of such a happy ending before. But a couple of weeks later, things went downhill when they had a trivial argument. She literally trashed his entire house and stole a bunch of things. I think that's why she started dating him. In the end, he found a mail-order bride from Russia, but divorced her after only 7 weeks. Now he lives in Thailand, married to a girl 20 years younger than him. They can't talk to each other because she doesn't know a word of English. She and her whole family live off his income and savings. Apparently, some people are just incorrigible. Don't take pictures. Not even through Snapchat. One of my friends pulled out a camera during a bachelor party. The bouncers threw our entire company of 25 people out. We all hated him that night. But my bachelor party was the same. My brother-in-law, who was 18 at the time, sent a photo of a dancer via Snapchat. The bouncer started yelling at him to delete the photo. He was terrified and tried to explain that Snapchat photos aren't saved on the phone, and he had nothing to delete. He and one other guest were kicked out, and we all had to go to another club. Don't sit near the stage if you're not going to tip. And how can you shove bitcoins in your underwear? Don't come in sweatpants. Edited. The dancers will feel every inch of your genitals if you come in athletic tights or shorts. And the girls hate that because it makes them feel like they're having sex with with the client. This is stripping, not strip sex. One stripper straight up told me I should have come in sweatpants. These poor things have to rub against denim all night. It must be painful. For me too. She complained that my jeans hurt her and advised me to come in sweatpants. I told her I thought it would be inappropriate to come in sweatpants, but she said it would be better for everyone. I don't know why men do this, but please don't lick the girls. We're just doing our jobs, and we didn't sign up to be licked. I can be dirty and sweaty too. I'm not ready for someone to kiss my butt, my cheeks, my crotch, and lick my body. In principle, I like my job, it's quite interesting at times, but please treat me like a human being. And also, although it only happened once, please don't try to put your money in my anus. That's very inappropriate. I read one life hack in a stripper's blog. If you haven't tried it yet, you should definitely try it. Spray hairspray on your shoulders, neck, and anywhere else you want to protect. It tastes terrible, and the brazen clients will definitely not want to lick you. And I have a question for the strippers. If the club serves great steak and shrimp at a great price, will you be offended if I only come for the food? Not at all. Come meet during the day. If a girl approaches you, tell her right away that you didn't come for the dances, but if they want to stay and chat, that's fine. Many such clubs are famous for their excellent steaks. And don't think you're taking bread away from their owners if you refuse a private dance. But if you finish your steak and just sit and stare at the stage while refusing the girls, saying you don't have money or you didn't come for the dance, some girls may be upset that you're enjoying the show, but don't want to pay. When I went to a strip club for the first time, I immediately told the girls that I didn't want a private dance, any special attention, etc. They were all understanding and polite. Some of them sat and chatted with me. One girl, who approached me shortly after doing the splits on a pole almost to the ceiling, turned out to be a former contender for a spot on the country's Olympic gymnastics team. But she developed breasts too early and it ruined her Olympic prospects. She said, "I'll never stand on the podium with a medal around my neck," but I'm not complaining. I think a lot of guys forget that the stripper twirling on the pole has her own life and her own story. Every one of the women I met then was amazing in her own way. A lot of people don't know that we have to pay for the right to work every night. Most of the strippers I know work on contract as freelance dancers, and they have to pay rent for the opportunity to dance at the club every workday. In addition, clubs often take their cut for lap dances. One of my friends keeps $20-40, while the rent is $100 a night. Keep your damn hands to yourself until the stripper clearly gives permission to touch her body. Really, when I first ended up in a strip club at my brother's bachelor party, I didn't touch the dancer with my hands, because I didn't know how you could and couldn't behave in such establishments. In the middle of the dance, the stripper herself took my hands and brought them to her ass. Another time, a girl was dancing on my lap and when I tried to do the same, she said I shouldn't. So it depends on the person. Girls always and in everything behave this way. General rules are roughly like this. Don't go on stage, don't touch our money. If you want to touch a dancer, ask her permission. If the bouncer tells you to do something, obey. Many other rules that have